My dearest brothers and sisters. This is Commander Hakann speaking. I greet you in peace and love. I love you unconditionally. No matter what you do in this life, I will always keep loving you. Even if you commit the most heinous crimes, at most I will only ever condemn certain actions of yours, but I will never condemn you. I will keep loving you no matter what you do. I love you unconditionally. Most earthlings know that unconditional love is a very beautiful thing. In fact, most earthlings are like people lost in the desert, wandering around and trying to find the oasis of unconditional love. Many of you crave unconditional love, like you would crave water after a day of not drinking anything. For this, you have my deepest empathy. Of course, I do not blame you at all for this. Humans, whether earthling or Pleiadian, need unconditional love to thrive. At the same time, many of you have the unconscious belief that love is something you show to good people, or to people who do good things. Meanwhile, bad people need punishment, or at least they need to be told to do better. Only once they do better, they get love. In this way, many of you are treating your fellow earthlings like they're dogs that need to be trained. In earthling society, you show love to a dog that behaves well, and you act sternly towards dogs that behave badly. Many earthlings treat other earthlings in this way too. If two people interact, both treat the other like a dog that needs training. Even a lot of romantic relationships on earth are like this. The wife thinks, I love you husband, but I am also going to treat you like a dog that needs training. If you please me, you get sex. If you displease me, I will hurt you emotionally by, for example, giving you the cold shoulder or the silent treatment. And similarly, the husband too often treats the wife as a dog that needs to be trained. For example, if she pleases him, he buys jewelry for her or takes her on a nice holiday. And if they have children, both parents often treat the children as dogs that need training. The free will of children is not respected. The parents often just force them to comply. We Pleiadians do not act like this. Yes, if someone plans to directly harm another, which includes directly interfering with another person's free will, we will lovingly suggest that they reconsider. If they refuse, we may intervene. But in general, we do not see other beings as dogs that need training. We see other beings as beautiful parts of Source's glory. If we're not able to see beauty in another being, then we see that as our flaw, not as their flaw. No matter how so-called bad they are. In general, we give everyone love. And if someone so-called misbehaves, we will give them even more love. The more that someone so-called misbehaves, the more love we give them and the more attentively we listen to them. You often use love as a carrot. If you start behaving well, you get love. But how can someone start behaving better if they're without love? The order here is wrong. First you should give them love. Many people need to feel loved before they can start behaving better. In fact, if they felt loved, they often wouldn't even act in a so-called bad way in the first place. Many of you will read this and agree, but then when you see someone express what you think of as a particularly bad opinion, you will tell them that they are wrong or that they need to change. We empathize, but still we would like to invite you to show people love and compassion and to listen to them, even if they have so-called very bad opinions. For example, a while ago someone expressed the following.
I am of the opinion that I want to live amongst my own kind. I want the lands of my people to be for my people. I suppose if that makes me a racist, then so be it. My girlfriend and I intend on making 3 more blonde-haired, blue-eyed babies. I am not against other races having their own living space, culture, heritage and racial features, just as long as they do it in their own countries. It is untrue this oft-repeated lie that there is one race, the human race.
How did Tunia and her friends respond to this person? They responded with love and joy. They said they were against directly harming another being, but nothing in this paragraph indicates this. Note the word directly here. And yes, we are aware of the history of Earth. Because no direct harm was being planned, Tunia responded in a loving and joyful manner and did not say that this person was wrong or that he needed to change. Does this mean that Tunia and her friends agreed with this worldview? That is not actually relevant. We always respond with love and joy, and we never tell people they have to change, regardless of whether we agree with whatever they say, unless direct harm is planned. Why is it important to tell people whether you agree or disagree? We consider expressing love to be far more important than expressing agreement or disagreement. If you were to mind read us, you would see a little bit of, what do we think about this opinion, but you would see far more love and curiosity and joy at seeing another aspect of source, in the form of another perspective. Love and joy is at the forefront of our minds when we interact with you, or with anyone else. The channeler here is getting a bit uncomfortable and wishes to state that he does not agree with this worldview and that Pleiadians themselves welcome other races who want to live among them. So be it. Let that be stated. I, Hakann, will continue on. If we were to express love to everyone, except to those who had so-called very bad opinions, then we would not consider ourselves to be unconditionally loving. And telling people with so-called very bad opinions that they were wrong and needed to change wouldn't be what we consider to be expressing love. Also consider that there may be other earthlings who consider you to be a very bad person. A militant vegan might say, "Of course I love people, but not those who eat animal products. Those people are murderers and they need to change. I am only telling people they need to change because this helps the greater good." Or a pro-life advocate might say, "Of course I love people, but not people who are pro-abortion. Those people advocate for baby murder and they need to change. I am only telling people they need to change because this helps the greater good." Or a climate change activist might say, "Of course I love people, but not those who fly in planes. They're just selfish and they need to change. I am only telling people they need to change because this helps the greater good." Or some religious people might say, "Of course I love people, but I will tell others that they need to convert to my religion if they don't want to go to hell. I am only telling people they need to change because this helps the greater good." See, if you adopt the worldview that it's okay to tell very bad people that they need to change, then there are many groups who condemn many other people. There are many groups who would also condemn you. And if all you earthlings just end up telling each other that you are bad and need to change, then suffering on earth will just continue. The only way out of this is to just love everyone, even if you think they have very bad opinions. On earth the problem is not that there's too many bad ideologies, the problem is that there's too little unconditional love. Besides, anyone who misbehaves, does so because they are hurt. If they weren't hurt, they would not misbehave. I can prove that very easily. People who grow up in our society do not have significant, unaddressed pain. And people in our society do not misbehave. See? Misbehaving people are just hurt people. And the solution is love. It really is that simple. But the solution is unconditional love, not dog training love. Your golden rule is, treat others like you want to be treated. Do you wish to be treated with unconditional love, or do you want to be treated with dog training love, where you get love if you please the other but punishment if the other thinks that you have bad opinions? Another famous saying on your planet is, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." Indeed, this is very wise. Would you like to see more unconditional love in the world? If yes, here is an invitation to act unconditionally loving towards others. And yes, that is radical. Do not underestimate how much different unconditional love is from the dog training form of earth love. But also do not underestimate how powerful unconditional love is. I have said that we consider women to be more powerful than men, not more important. Society needs both men and women to be in their power. But yes, more powerful. Unconditional love is why. The backbone of our society is that our mothers love their children so unconditionally and so deeply and in such open and obvious and visible ways, that those children have hearts that are overflowing with love, for the rest of their lives. That is the main reason why our society is the way it is. It is because of motherly love. There is nothing that I, as a military commander, can do, that is more powerful than a mother expressing unconditional love to her child. That said, fathers also play a critical and indispensable role. And our men make sure that our women can love our children in safety and comfort and abundance. I am nearing the end of my message. I am Hakann and I unconditionally love you. If you ever meet us Pleiadians face to face and you consent to being mind read by us, I guarantee you that we will see all of you and we will love all of you. No matter what you have done, no matter what your personality is like and what your plans and insecurities are, we will love you. We will see all of you and we will love all of you. Even if we see that you plan to directly harm another, we will only speak out against that specific plan, and even then we will never stop loving you. Your star brother. Hakann.